Last week on TankGarage, we started the install process of my XC70's brand new SF Racing Coilovers. This was most probably the most anticipated mod that I've been waiting to do. And today we're gonna finally reveal to you guys the final result. Enjoy!
Hey guys, welcome back to TankGarage. My name is Frank and I'll be the man behind the camera. Welcome back to part 2 of slamming my Volvo XC70 T6 to the ground. Before the video starts, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss any uploads from TankGarage. If you guys haven't seen part 1, link is gonna be down in the description below. We're back here working on the XC70. If you guys remember in the last video, we finalized and installed the rear end of my SF Racing Coilovers on my 2010 Volvo XC70 T6. The front end, well, yeah, it looks like that. The car looks absolutely horrible right now. It is squatting the California life out of it. And now today, we're gonna hopefully finish up the front end so I can finally have for you guys of my slammed XC70. Don't worry, I know in the rear, I still have about 2 to 3 inches before I can go to the rim. Like you guys can see, there's still a lot of play with the tire. We're not gonna have 50 sidewall tires like my winter setup, but like you can see, we got about what, 2 to 3 inches that we can go a bit lower. So we'll probably drop the rear an inch once we're done with the front. Might leave it like that for now, of course, with the front dropped, because we're gonna check out the new wheels that I've got from Japan. Yes, I'm putting JDM wheels on a Volvo. A set of wheels that has never been done in probably the history of cars or documented on a Volvo. They are Wed's Maverick 709M and they are going to look absolutely insane. I'll reveal them to you guys in a further video. We still have to paint the cloudings. I want to redo the full exhaust into a 3.5 with a downpipe. I'm going to hit up some contacts of mine, see if someone is down to sponsor the build. And we are going to be doing also a bunch of interior mods to rejuvenate or modernize the look of my XC70. Alrighty guys, so lifted the car. We've started with both of them. So first off, of course, we're going to take all of the lines out. This is the 4C suspension. This is the part that's the most complicated to remove right here because the shock sits inside of, is this the spindle? I'm not sure. I'm going to go ahead and remove the end link, which is situated right up here. Dan is actually helping me to finish the install like he did on the rear. So huge shout out to him. You have to remove it from the sway bar right back down here. Up here, hopefully we don't have too much issue with this. Keep this little part right here because you will need to reuse it. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that. And yeah, the new shocks are right here. I got myself as well adjustable end links for the front right here. And then we have the shocks right over here, much smaller than the OEM ones. Let's hope all goes well. Practice. All right, guys, so this is the fun part. This is the part where we have to separate the shock from the spindle or whatever you guys want to call that. Is it moving?
Yeah, well, look at it.
Yeah, it went down a lot. Hold on, let me check. So this is the fun part because the shock sits inside of, please correct me in the comments about what's the actual factual name of this part right here. But since the shock sits inside of it and the years of rust, of course, I don't think that's ever been changed on this car, and the accumulation, well, you have to find a way to take it out. So hammer was the solution. We could stand on it, but I don't think standing on it is going to do that much. Putting the new shocks in is actually going to be quite easier. Shouldn't be easy, but it's going to be easier. So yeah, make sure you disconnect all of the cables. I disconnected the 4C already, and we got the sway bar end link off as well. It's going to be fun. I mean, let's hope that it goes off. We have about 3 hours before the shop closes here, so we might finish it tomorrow morning. But yeah, let's give it a couple more smacks. And all right, guys, we're back. Actually, the next morning, because we didn't have enough time yesterday, we did encounter some, I wouldn't say issues, but we had some difficulties getting the OEM shock out. Everything is now out on the driver's side. Passenger side should go pretty much faster since we now know how to do it exactly. I saw some videos online of people showing that you would actually need to pull down on the assembly so that you can remove the shock. I didn't really find that to work. We tried with a pry bar, we tried with putting a lot of weight, and I didn't want to break anything, so we stopped at that point. But what we end up doing is you have two options. The car was has 230,000 kilometers, so there's a lot of rust accumulated on it. So we remove the ball joint, just the top of the ball joint out, and then we took out the rear bolts of the control arms, so we could just pull a little bit on the control arm, and then we would have that extra play, because we were missing, I'm not joking guys, about like half a centimeter, like probably like 2-3 millimeters, and we could have taken it out. We were able to take it out. The shock is out now. Since it's an XC, right, the shock is so much bigger. I'll give you guys a little visual comparison of the OEM shock versus, there's a little bit of, there's a very, very big difference in between the coilover from SF Racing and the OEM shocks. So now we have the whole left side undone. Dan is gonna meet me here in maybe half an hour to an hour, so I'm gonna start working by myself. I'll put everything back on this side. Other side, we're gonna do the same thing. Should be pretty straightforward since we now know what went wrong on this side and what took us so much time. We wasted way too much time on like trying not to remove stuff because there's a lot of rust, right? It's a car from Montreal. It's a car that's seen salt roads, and it has 230,000 kilometers. So the underbody is, it has that surface rust, and it kind of makes stuff harder to remove. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and install the new shock back on. I'm gonna try to put everything back with the ball joint. Only thing that I haven't put back, I believe, is the end link. We took the axle out as well. That was very simple. You just hammer on the, you take off the screw that sets into the bolt that sets into the axle, put the bolt back in, and then just slightly tap on the bolt, and it's going to push the axle back. Don't do it too hard because you don't want to break the axle, right? But yeah, it wasn't that much complicated, so let's get to work. Let's get to putting this shock back in. Should have some results pretty soon. So I now have the shock back in, put the tie rod in. I'm gonna be tightening the control arm bolts, which are at the bottom right here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit them with the torque gun, and then we're just gonna torque on the impact, and then we're just gonna tighten it with the torque wrench. We'll see, I might just tap it with the torque gun and the torque run, the impact gun. I'm tired guys, it's very early morning. So everything's back on visually. I'm gonna have to remove the set bolt in the back, which we sat. A little tip for you guys if you're doing this, because we lost a little bit of time as well trying to separate the rear. I'm gonna actually grab the camera and show you guys the rear of the shock, the way it's made. So these are McPherson shock, if I'm not mistaken. And the way it sits is there is a screw. There's a bolt right over here that separates. I'm gonna try to show you guys from this angle here. It's a little hard to see. It separates the shock right at the bottom there. So what we actually ended up doing is we put the screw in, the bolt in right here, and we have a washer on the other side in the middle, and the bolt is pretty much pushing on the washer. So the more that we tighten the bolt, theoretically, the more that the washer is gonna push this hole apart. Online, I saw people putting wedges and things like that, but we were trying to have as much space as possible without removing everything, and that's the best solution that we came across. And it actually works really well. We haven't had to touch the car. So shock is sat, everything is up here. I have to figure that out, right? Because now the shock is loose up here and the whole suspension is loose. You guys can see where we also tried to put some leverage on there. So took the tie rod end out, like you guys can see right here. I'm gonna torque down. You guys can see I have my wrench right here to torque down on the control arm bolts. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that set screw over here, tighten all of that, because this unit shouldn't be moving anymore. I did double check that the top mount was good. The top mount is perfect, so that's good. I have my adjustable end link that's gonna go right over here. And then yeah, we also took apart this right here, which is for the adaptive headlights, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So there's two screws up here just to give us a little bit more leeway in the back, but you don't need to do it. We just did it because we wanted to have as much space as possible. So, yep, let's get to removing the rest.
5 hours to complete.
5 hours for one side,
bolts.
guys. 2 snapped bolts.
And, none of it filmed, but
We didn't film anything because, the struggle was too real, but we finally have the driver's side on, guys. This is supposed to be an hour per side.
One driver's side.
One driver's side, not two driver's sides. So this one is on. We have to do the other side. We tighten everything back.
Oh, don't forget, we had to remove everything.
Yeah, I told them before you were here. So yeah, like Dan said, we had to remove everything because it was too hard with the rust and everything, and we didn't have enough leverage to take the old shock out. Putting everything back together was actually much easier since everything is smaller. But yeah, let's go on the other side. We won't film the other side, guys, unfortunately, because yeah, we gotta get it going. And we don't have much space on the other side as well because the lips are all closed here. So let's get going. Alrighty guys, we're out of the shop. The XC70 is officially lowered. It's not as low as it's gonna be once the wheels are on. I just wanted to have a nice fitment for now with the height. The fitment with the wheels is actually pretty bad, so don't mind that. I'm just gonna move around here so that you guys can actually see me because the sun was in my back. So I'm here at a private filming location. We're gonna get some videos for you guys and show you all. There's not many issues. The only thing that I've seen that is gonna be an issue that I'll have to address, I believe the sway bar when I'm hitting bumps is hitting the frame because I put really short end links on it. And I believe that's causing too much tension on the sway bar. So it's pulling the sway bar up, and when we hit bumps, it brings the sway bar to somewhere where it shouldn't be usually. So I'll have to adjust that. I'll probably just lower my end links, make them a little bit longer, and it should fix the issue. But there's the XC70, and hopefully you guys enjoy the final B-rolls of my lowered 2010 Volvo XC70 T6. Enjoy.
All of my youngest, some savages running your trap, at you up with them packages. Rob you for bricks, finesse you for pounds. Fuck all that talking, they laying you down. Gotta teach niggas about playing around. Cartel connected, you better respect it. Fuck up the paper, send you to your maker. They laying you 6 feet under the ground. Riding with choppers messed up like Chewbacca. Got dressed like a roster, free all of my partners. This one for Sosa and Gio, I got you. Bentley was happening, Latona was cracking. Dub, TG, Daru, what it do? Down, I see you, lay back and be cool. I'm fucking this hoe and she wet as a pool. I'm feeding her dick and you buying her food. Shopping and robbing and shopping, break bread with my niggas, you know how we rockin'. Hitting these licks and counting this cake. I don't give a fuck, I'm burying my face. Hoping I live to see me a new day. He got that chopper and ready to spray. I'm running through bitches, what more can I say? Kush came from Cali, shout out to the Bay.
Niggas, I know they come shop for the work. Lay you on the floor and take all of your cash. Fucking these bitches, no cuffing these bitches, no loving these bitches, they out for the smash. Niggas, I know they come shop for the bricks.
My God, my dream wagon build, guys, is coming to life. Little things to dial in everything so that I don't have that knocking sound from the sway bar. But once that's done, the XC70 is sitting pretty, guys. We've got the wheels. I got 19-inch JDM wheels, 2-piece wheels that are going on the XC70. Already received them at home. If you guys followed the TikTok and the Instagram, I showed you guys a good amount of what they look like. But oh man, when that's in and when we decide to body match all of the plastic pieces, it's gonna look incredible. I can't put it to you guys any other way of that. You will have to follow the channel and follow the builds because this year I am not messing around, and I've told you guys. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this 2-part video on installing the coilovers on my 2010 Volvo XC70 T6. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss any uploads from TankGarage. See ya, boys.